What is going on, everybody? The Roundtable of Wraith is back, this time with a kind of hype slash predictions video regarding the next set of Flesh and Blood, Tales of Aria. So, as you can see, I got myself, obviously, here, and I am joined by Ryan, who you can see above me on the screen. And we're just gonna kind of keep it loose, have a friendly conversation just about Tales of Aria, what we are excited about from what we've seen in this upcoming set, and then our predictions about it. So quickly before we get started, I want to read some of the tasty flavor text that they say. So if you go to the FabTCG website, there's a Tales of Aria article that came out on July 27th. And I think this little intro is pretty cool. The protectors of Eisenloft awake from their endless winter slumber. The wardens of Candlehold sharpen their thorns within the blossoming undergrowth. The prophets of Volthaven set their sights on a future painted by the great Aurora. Tales of Aria is a standalone booster set, introducing 3 new heroes with all new mechanics as we explore the vibrant land of Aria and the troubles that lie within, designed for exceptional sealed deck, booster draft, and constructed format play. So, with what I just read, Ryan, they bring up 3 different locations. They say Eisenloft, and they talk about winter. They say Candlehold, and they talk about a blossoming undergrowth. And then they say Volthaven, which obviously by the name Volthaven and the Great Aurora, you would think it'd be like lightning, right?
Weather related, yeah.
Yeah. So with those 3 locations, one being ice and winter, one being kind of a blossoming, earth, and then the other being a storm. What do you think is in store for us, man?
So that, and kind of also paired with a little tidbit of information that we know, the set abbreviation is not TOA, like one would assume. It is actually ELE. So Welcome to Wraith is WTR, and then Arcane Rising was ARC. So ELE, that leads me to believe that we are dealing with the elements this set. I think that we are going to get at least 3 different elements based on the locations, potentially even more. Which is really exciting. One of my big predictions here, and I'm sure we'll get into some more of the discussion here, is some of these characters might be I know we know for a fact Lexi is confirmed, and you can take Lexi in a second because I know that's probably all you're going to see Jim play on this channel for the next 5 months. But we know that she's going to be the new Ranger. I wouldn't be surprised if we get if her talent is Elemental Ranger, and it allows her to play 3 or 4 different elements, whatever is included in this set. So definitely lean towards the elemental vibe. That's kind of where my head was at first. I know you were the first one kind of that called that. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I mean, so there was shout out to DM Armada and the Red Zone Rogue. They do great prediction videos, and they make just great content for the game in general. And in one of their videos, they kind of talked about how it could be a lightning or a storm ranger and stuff. And then in our group chat, I kind of was well, there's ice, there's storms, and then there's earth. And so I was tell me. And this was before we knew the abbreviation was ELE.
Right.
And I was how can what word embodies all of that? And I was dude, I bet it's elemental. And you were that's really good. So hopefully it is Elemental Guardian, Elemental Ranger, Elemental Wizard, Elemental whatever it might be. And then, like you said before, each of those heroes kind of focuses on a different element, which would be really awesome.
Well, I don't think that there's going to be I don't think Lexi is going to be reserved to just using ice.
That's what I'm saying. It could be elemental, and then there could be how, not to cut you off, but how there's light and shadow cards, and then there's light warrior cards.
Yeah.
It could be storm or ice, or what do you think?
Well, so the other thing that I was going to go off of, because usually when we're just doing speculative videos like this, you go off of what's the information that we know, and we were going. I feel like everyone was doing deep dives into what James White was saying before Monarch, and then all of a sudden the talent system completely just stumped everybody. No one saw that really coming. But he did say that this is the devs' favorite set to draft. And so you're like, oh, that's exciting. There must be a lot of customization. There must be like a lot of options, because if you're playing sealed and draft, you want those options. But then the fact that there's only 3 new heroes feels like that's going to be very limited for draft. So why would this be their favorite format and yet also have such on paper, a limited kind of card pool, or I guess with only 3 heroes? And there could be more Blitz heroes, who knows? But again, where my head was at was, you pick your hero, and then if there are 3 or 4 different elements and each hero can use every single element, or maybe you have to use 2 or something like that, that opens up just a completely new world of sealed play and stuff like that, which in turn is also going to make deck building when you're playing constructed events even more layered than it already is. If you're able to include multiple elements instead of just having one. Like right now, if you're building Prism, right, you can have the Illusionist cards, you can have the Light cards, you can have Light Illusionist. Now think of it as you have the Ranger cards for Lexi, you have maybe generic Elemental cards that Lexi can use, and then Ice arrows or Ice Ranger cards or Storm Ranger cards or things like that. So I think this is going to be just a crazy layered set based on what James has said and what we know of kind of within their release notes.
Okay, so I agree with everything you said. Let's talk about, before we move into some of the art we see here, and then we can predict some classes and some talents or whatever it might be, which we kind of alluded to already, but dive a little deeper. The key dates. The release date is September 24th, and today is July 28th. So that's going to come faster than I think we realize.
You and I'll get a little taste in
I
Vegas.
was going to say, the pre-release events are September 17th, 18th, and 19th, and then the world premiere is at the Calling Las Vegas, which is September 10th. So, if you're going to the Calling in Las Vegas, and Ryan and I are, with our fellow teammate Bob, you could sign up for the world premiere event. And so we did that because why wouldn't we? It's going to be exciting. And
amazing.
And preview season is going to start September 1st. So we're going to be pretty close to 1 month away from previews. And that's really exciting. They got 238 cards in the set, 1 Fable.
Which is more than Arcane Rising and Welcome to Wraith.
Oh, is it really?
It's a bigger set than those 2, I believe. I'm pretty positive on that.
1 Fabled, which I'll pull 2 of because
you'll have a couple. We'll show them off.
6 legendary again. So the first 2 sets was 5 legendaries, and with Monarch they went to 6, and so this is another time with 6 legendaries, 27 majestics, 54 rares, and then commons and tokens. So
14 tokens is high.
14 tokens. How many are there normally?
I don't know. I got to go back to Monarch. Let me just do a click. But that's a lot of tokens.
Do you think it seems like it's because maybe you make like an ice, or maybe you make you can create an element, or imbue an element. Create a ice token, create a storm token, create a fire token, create an earth token.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, then you can use those tokens to imbue your attack with that element. Oh, I'm onto something here.
I'm here for it. I'm trying to figure out where it is. I'm close. But yeah, you can keep going, and I'll.
Okay, so, and then aside from the information, they say that they are continuing the trend of coming out with their pre-constructed blitz decks. There'll be a 40-card pre-constructed blitz deck, which only the 3 heroes are in. So 9 decks per display, 4 displays per case. So really awesome and really exciting time. So we got some speculating to do, and what we're gonna do, and as you can see on this,
Monarch had 18 tokens, so
okay, so there's less.
it's less. Dang, I got
Dang,
excited.
we did get excited, but maybe we could still be right though.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll through some of these pictures, and then we're gonna talk about maybe for each of the areas what class we could see coming from here, and then maybe the talent that we can think about, or if it'll be a completely new class that we've never seen before. So the first picture you see here is Isenloft, and it looks basically like an extremely snowy Winterfell, but not like the rustic Winterfell vibe. It's like kind of like more castle-y and way more ice and water. So it looks like a place that's hard to get to and easily defended because of the elements. So Isenloft, the area looks cold and wintry. What class do you think is going to be coming from Isenloft, and what's their talent going to be?
Man, I don't know. I mean, do we think that they're going to be? Are all three heroes going to share a talent? Like, are they all going to be elemental, or is this going to be like an ice wizard? You know what I mean? Like, I could see this being.
I guess you might be right. Let's say the talent is elemental,
Yep.
but let's say it was elemental. However, let's go under the assumption that under the elements umbrella, that character can then like specialize in a specific element.
Yeah, I mean, this one looks. I mean, more. I could see a guardian from up here. I mean, it looks very regal. You know that the castle on the cliffside there looks very like Osgiliath from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, right. So I could see like a guardian type character. You know, an ice guardian or something like that. I think that would be legit. That would be fitting.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna agree. So I know it's boring to have two of us say the same thing, but I think Isenloft is gonna have a guardian, and that guardian is gonna specialize in some type of like ice. Ice is like it's a wall. It's hard. It's defensive. It fits the Guardian theme of like, making an ice or stone golem, or using a wall of ice to protect. So I think you're spot on. So we both agree that we'll see a Guardian in this set from Isenloft. Scrolling down, you see Volthaven. And so this one's the boring one because I think we can assume this is where Lexi is from.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And Lexi is our ranger character, and it looks like she'll be, heavily involved with lightning. So I think we both agree that Volthaven is going to produce a lightning-based character. So it could be like elemental ranger, and then you specialize in the lightning aspect of the elements. But the picture of the location looks like really badass.
That's really cool. Yeah. I mean, this could also be home, like down the line to like a new illusionist character,
Yeah.
or like a wizard character. But yeah, I definitely think Lexi's from there, just based on the art that we've seen with her.
I would agree. And yeah, just like the pictures we've seen of her and having like trails of lightning on the bow and stuff, it just seems like it fits too much.
Yeah, right.
And then scrolling down lastly is Candlehold. And here's where like the hard speculation can come in, because Candlehold is very overgrown wildlife, and like lush, beautiful wildlife. And then there's like a castle that even looks like its architecture is like leaf based and themed, and a lot of people online are predicting a wizard. But
I don't want the wizard.
I don't
see the wizard too.
What do you think then? From Candlehold, where it looks like it's like a festive environment. We've seen Candlehold in art before. I think like we know Fendel Spring Tunic is that festival or whatever is in Aria. We know that Bravo's character's from Aria, and he does the traveling carnival and stuff. What?
Right, riddle me this. Riddle me this.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You got somebody wearing a tunic. You're at a festival. What do you hear? What's playing at a festival?
See, this is where I thought you were gonna go. Music, dog.
Who's playing the music?
A bard, man.
You're getting the bard class from Candlehold. Look at that little place. It looks like the Shire. It looks like, you know, there's the little bar on top of the hill right there overlooking everything. Probably some horses and some stables. There's just Bravo's probably come through to the Tavern Wenches a couple of times, you know, and seen this bard in the corner. We're getting a bard, new class, Candlehold. He's going to be the most played character of the set. His lute is going to be the first ever legendary weapon in the game.
Dude, so if it's a bard, obviously, you know, music in other games, the bard is used as a support class. In Flesh and Blood, obviously, you can't beef up your opponent. So he's going to have to fight in mystical ways, like either songs or music or things that, you know, damage or hinder. Could it be like a bard illusionist? Could it be like just a bard that does arcane damage because it's magical?
I'm thinking potentially like tokens, you know, that represent like music or notes or songs or something like that, or maybe he is mystical in some way. But usually, you know, going on the support line, bards are heavy into buffs and debuffs. So I'm wondering, like, if he can summon auras that stay on the field for a long period of time, that, you know,
that buff him up,
that like add, you know, +5 to every attack while this thing is on the field, or something like that along those lines. Or like, while this thing's on the field, all of your opponent's attacks get -3. And so, like, very kind of a combination of like Prism, but also like, you know, Dorinthia in a sense, where you're getting these buffs ongoing for a while. See, I have no idea.
I'm with you on aspects of Prism, but I'm going to say aspects of Prism and aspects of Wizard, because he does
have to do damage.
Yeah, he's got to do damage, and I think arcane damage fits him best, especially if we think that the Guardian is going to do you know, physical damage. If Lexi's shooting arrows, and hopefully, you know, she's doing physical damage. But maybe if it is a bard, that it can do some arcane. Now, if we weren't picking bard as the class, because I do think 2 previous classes and then a new one is amazing.
Yeah.
Let's say they don't introduce a new class, what do you think it is then?
Yeah, Nature Wizard kind of sounds decent. The hanging lights there, like, kind of look very, you know, mystical. So I could see them going the Wizard line. I don't see them going. It could be an illusionist again, I guess, because we have so many generic illusionist cards that, you know, are gonna need to find home eventually.
Help their card pool, yeah.
Yeah, right. So yeah, it could definitely be an illusionist again. I have no idea. My heart leans new
bard.
Class.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if it was also a wizard or an illusionist. And then if they pull something out of left field and give us like,
I agree,
like a new mechanologist or something. I don't know.
So we're gonna Roundtable of Wraith. Official predictions are a Guardian. We're not predicting. We're not predicting a Ranger. We know.
Yeah.
And then a Bard, and I like that because I think I'm in agreement with you. So hopefully we can reference this back in a
see how wrong we are.
Yeah, in a reaction video to when, you know, spoiler season does come out. We can go back to this video in a month or two and grade ourselves in our predictions. But as we wrap up the video here, I want to scroll through some of these other artworks because they're beautiful and just talk a little bit about it. You got a picture of like a frozen lake here called Lake Frigid. That could go along with our ice and our element and our water. What's the word I'm looking for? Theme, like we're talking about the elements. Then the Thunder Step. That looks cool. I don't see, me and you don't own the lore book, so we don't know really if this stuff is
just like places, like was there a battle here, like was something.
We're just going off of our reactions or
Mount
just our
Heroic
initial thoughts.
Mount Heroic looks sick.
Mount Heroic is way badass.
This could be a Fabled, like a location.
Yeah. Ooh, that would be
So a part of
so
the rule
cool.
book. A part of the rule book is when one landmark gets played, if another one's on the field, you discard the previous landmark. So I wonder if we get more landmarks this set to not deal with library, but just to give a counterplay to library.
Wait, that's a thing in the official rulebook. If a landmark is in the battlefield, is in the play area, and another landmark is played, the previous landmark gets destroyed.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, spicy. So if we get another landmark, that could be.
I can totally see this Mount Heroic being the landmark, the fabled
It could
landmark.
be, yeah.
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 All right,
Do
and
you have
then
any?
oh, go ahead.
Oh, so I was gonna ask you a question about some predictions here, but you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
keep going. With
No,
that.
hit me with it. Hit me with it.
So we get 6 legendaries. Do you have any hot takes on any of the legendaries? Like, how are they going to be distributed? Because I don't think many people saw Eclipse coming or Doomsday coming as a legendary you can put in your deck. Do you think we're going to get something off the beaten path of this set?
Okay, so I think yes, and I think you know how, let's say in Monarch we had Warrior got a generic, the Dynamos, and then Bolton got like a light Warrior, or there wasn't one for Bolton, but it was like the Dynamos, and then the light class in general got Vestige, right?
Vestige.
Yeah. And so I would be really cautious to give a legendary equipment to Guardian because they already have so many kick-ass equipment
It would have
pieces.
to be a helmet, right?
Or boots, because the Guardian player doesn't really have boots, but I mean they got to be really cautious about giving Guardian another piece of kick-ass equipment because they have the Crater Fist, which blocks for 2. They have obviously the Tectonic Plating. You have your generic Arcanite Skullcap that you could wear. If it was it's got to be either a helmet or boots. So let's say there's a legendary for Guardian, a legendary. Oh, go ahead.
I think we have to get. Like, I think this is going to be the set where you're going to see Arcanite Skullcap kind of be a second option. Like, right now, like, not every class, because, like, I know chains are running, like, even folds and prism runs, halos and stuff. But a lot of people default, unless you're playing Ninja, everyone defaults to, okay, Arcanite Skullcap, right? I think this is going to be the set. I'm really hopeful, not necessarily another generic, but maybe just a general class helmet that we get.
No, that would be cool. That would be like how Vestige is a light chest piece. There could be like an elemental helmet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, that'd be cool because let's say 3 of the legendaries are related to the specific classes that they come out. So let's say like Bard. Right. Let's say Bard comes out and gets a legendary equipment. Let's say Ranger gets a legendary so that they actually have a decent piece of equipment that's not the Skullbone cross wrap.
She's got to get the quiver, right? You would assume this would be the set for the quiver, right?
That would be sick, but if they make the quiver legendary, that'd be really cool.
Like, it would be a legendary chest piece, like
that has like Okay, so
that would help tremendously.
I mean, yeah, it's needed because then it's a chest piece that can be worn by Azalea as well. It wouldn't be a legendary elemental thing; it would be a legendary ranger thing.
Ranger one, yeah.
So that Azalea can then have the Skullbone cross wrap and the whatever this chest piece is. Okay, so let's say those are 3 of them. Let's say 3 legendaries are equipment. That gives us 3 legendaries left. Do you think they're gonna do something like previously in Monarch, where the 2 shadow characters got a legendary that goes in the deck? Do you think something like that is going to happen again?
My bold prediction this set is going to be there will be a legendary weapon.
That's insane, though.
It is, but we're getting to the point now where you have like, Tunic is still good. A lot of the classes like there's 6 legendaries. If there is going to be a new class, you're going to have 3 elementals and then maybe a class specific one or something like that. You would assume that if the Bard prediction is there, he's going to get like legendary gloves that let him play faster or something. I don't know, but he's probably going to get 2, right? He'll get his legendary piece of equipment, similar to how Prism got the Phantasmal Footsteps and the Vestige of Soul that she can use. He would probably need help twice, maybe not. I could be off base.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a space that they go to eventually where they can have, because I mean they're staying true to you only ever need 1 legendary, and I really appreciate that. I think that's the design that they have to maintain. And it could be a card that goes in your deck. Maybe it's a legendary song, or maybe it's a legendary arrow that Lexi can shoot. Something like that would be really awesome, like a specialization.
A legendary ballad.
Yeah, that'd be so sick.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Cool. Like every bard has that one ballad that everyone in the realm knows. This guy's that he can pull out of his deck. That would be insane. Now I'm like really hyped on that. But maybe it's not this set. I'm just going bold because that's my prediction. I do think that we'll get a legendary weapon sooner rather than later. It might not be this set, but I do think that's eventually going to be coming.
I mean, Lexi's bow is really badass looking, but there's no way. I don't think the Ranger class would get the legendary weapon, but I could see if there is a legendary weapon this set, it would make sense for it to be if they introduced a new class completely in like Bard or something, and it would have to be like a loot or something like that that nobody else could use, but it's only really good in Bard or whatever.
I also appreciate Monarch, and I hope that they have that transition or the same thing too, where upon release you got the tokens of like the hatchets, you got Iris of Reality, you got Nebula Blade or Galaxy Black, and then they all had the majestic counterpart that went with it. So it was like Luminaris was a majestic. It wasn't a legendary.
Yeah.
It was hard to get, and they made cold foils of them, but I liked that too. So like Lexi's bow could very well be a majestic. Not a legendary, and she can use Death Dealer. She can use a new token that she might get, which I think would be really cool as well.
No, I agree with you 100%. Actually though, so I was kind of scrolling through the article.
Yeah.
And so if you go to that very first paragraph that we read, let's just give one alternate aspect here. Protectors of Isenloft, Protectors, Guardian, lock it in, right?
Boom.
Wardens of Candlehold, sharpen their thorns. So if it is not a bard and we're off track here, could it sharpen their thorns? Could it be like a rogue or a
brute, an assassin?
An assassin. I don't think it would be a brute, but it could be like an assassin. The wardens of sharpen their thorns, and a thorn is a prickly little thorn. Thorn you think of like something that hurts you that's small, and it doesn't look like it's gonna hurt, but it hurts more than you think it would. Blossoming in the undergrowth. So perhaps if we're off track here about the bard, and I think it'd be really cool if it was a bard, but if it's not a bard, just listening to it say the wardens of Candlehold sharpen their thorns within the blossoming undergrowth. What do you think it could be then?
Could be an assassin.
An assassin?
Something like that. A mercenary. Warden. Yeah. I mean, I don't. Like it wasn't Aragorn this is like the third Lord of the Rings reference, which is crazy, but wasn't Aragorn a warden or something like that? Or he was a ranger. Never mind.
Yeah. But I mean that sentence, Protectors of Isenloft, seems like Guardian. This seems like something we don't know. And then the Prophets of Volthaven. But that's also interesting because you wouldn't think of a ranger, Prophet of Volthaven, set their sights. Oh, never mind. Set their sights. Set your sight. Aha. So there you go. Maybe we're off track about the bard, and we're going to get some type of like nature is like assassin or something like that.
Does Candlehold like a real life? Is it like a real sized town? Like, or are these like? I guess are those people? Yeah, those are people. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm thinking like
like
sharpening. Could be like animal, but
yeah, like
like
small.
yeah,
Ooh, what if
sharpening their
I was gonna say that
a mouse assassin.
shapeshifter, but we already have a shapeshifter.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, but I'm in on some type of uh, I've just almost talked myself out of Bard and into something
Into something else.
into
Yeah.
something else, but
We're
I mean,
just the strategy here is just cover all these different choices.
yeah, so we can't be
and,
wrong
like,
then.
potentials. Yeah, so we can just go back and be like, yeah, see, we were right.
Yeah. Okay, so then lastly, because I didn't want to end this relatively soon, you can see the picture of adult Lexi, and oh my god, this is every component of me written all over it. Female hero, beautiful, ranger, majestic, and like elements with lightning. If you
She's
know,
got a quiver.
yeah, she's
Young
got
Lexi's got a quiver.
yeah, young Lexi's got a quiver. Young Lexi's I mean, well, first of all, I probably shouldn't say that because I don't know how old young Lexi's supposed to be in this photo, but both these Lexis are above average looking, and if you know me, I'm a big anime fan, so I do like the art style, and I think it's really cool. Yeah, I'm just super psyched to play Ranger, and on this channel I haven't played Ranger a lot, but Ryan can back me up that like when we got Arcane Rising, all I played was Azalea for like
Two heroes that he's focused on are Azalea and Levia. So whenever he has a blow up on channel, just know that it's
Yeah.
deserved. He has a lot of pent up rage.
yeah. So, however, I feel like I've reached a breakthrough with Levia, but that's here nor there.
You gotta tune into the last episode.
Yeah.
Hey, go to young Lexi real quick. Go to
Okay.
her picture.
Okay.
It's nice that they included Bob Look as the little hyped kid right there. I mean, that's just a perfect little. I didn't realize that LSS had his artwork from when he was a kid, but
That kid's
nice
fully marking out.
he's so excited.
He's so jacked for the bullseye. He's like, I mean, his first crush is probably Lexi, right? He's
Yeah,
probably,
like,
yeah,
right.
he's probably like, oh my gosh. Not only is
My
he,
girl.
she's slinging arrows, but she's showing a lot of leg, and he's probably having feelings he's never felt before.
That's a lot of yet leg for little Bob Look right there.
Yeah. Yeah! Ah! Bullseye! Just fully simping out.
A full simp. Yeah. Full simp.
Okay, as we wrap this up, we'll be excited as a team to bring you more news about Tales of Aria, continue to provide you with new content. I know that each of us kind of picked a hero to dive in Monarch, and I'm sure we'll do the same in Tales of Aria, which will be interesting because there's 5 of us and there's only going to be 3 heroes, so you'll probably even see some of these new series that we'll make for Tales of Aria be like a tag team, have 2 people on each character talking about them. So
Fun.
and you've brought this up in your previous videos. We need to do better with gameplay, so we will try to record some gameplay videos soon, because we've been kind of exploring different methods of content. But any final thoughts, Ryan?
No, I'm really excited. Spoiler season starts on September 1st, and then we'll have cards from the calling. So, when we get back from that trip in Vegas, we'll kind of reveal some of the cards that we have, and we'll show them off a little bit. And then, yeah, I mean, spoiler season for this game in Monarch was like the most fun 3 weeks that
It really was.
refreshing, being like, oh, did you see this? So I'm really excited for that. And I'm really excited now that we have kind of a channel presence a little bit to kind of introduce the spoilers as well. So, if you guys are watching this video, what are some of your predictions? Because, these are just mine and Jim's random meandering. So if you guys have any predictions or thoughts or anything like that, drop them in the chat. Again, we will respond. We just do nothing except stare at our YouTube comment section all the time.
Yeah. If you didn't know, Ryan, myself, and Chris, and technically Mark, all work within the school setting. However,
Yeah.
Mark is not a teacher, so he is at work more than we are. But during the summer months, myself and Ryan, I mean, you could hear Ryan's, little minion there in the background. But
Screaming in the back.
we
She just
we
woke up.
have a lot of free time because we are school teachers on break. So we do actively play a lot of Fab during the summer and can respond to your comments. Obviously, life will get a little bit busier come the end of August and the beginning of September when we go back to work. But we're going to try to keep up that content, like he said. So stay in touch with us. We'll do our best to respond. And until the next time we talk to you guys, Ryan and Jim are peacing out. Take care.